Welcome to IELTS Wordcraft. Here's what we've got lined up for today's explainer. First, we'll review our master vocabulary list. Then, we'll break down their meanings and examples. After that, we'll lock them in with a memory story called the Changing World Mission, followed by a quick synonym quiz to test your knowledge, and finally, we'll go over those correct answers. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, our master vocabulary list of 20 essential words. I'm going to read these out slowly, so just listen to the pronunciation and see how many you already know. Alter, deviate, evolve, immigrate, migrate, ongoing, orient, proceed, reverse, successor, subsequent, sustain, terminate, trace, domain, outcome, overseas, globe, reside, impact. Moving right along to Section 2, let's look at the meanings and some real-world examples for these words in context. First up is alter, which means to change something or modify it just a bit. For instance, climate change may alter weather patterns, or he altered his plans after the meeting. Next, we have deviate. This means to move away from a path or differ from what's considered normal, like drivers should not deviate from traffic rules, or his results deviated from expectations. Then there's evolve, which is to develop gradually or change over time. Language continues to evolve, and the company evolved into a global business. Now notice how alter implies a targeted change, while evolve is more about a natural gradual development. Okay, next is immigrate, meaning to move into another country permanently. Many families immigrate for better opportunities, or her grandparents immigrated to Canada. And migrate just means to move from one place to another, sometimes seasonally. Birds migrate during winter, and many workers migrate to cities for jobs. Ongoing simply means continuing right now or not finished yet. Think of sentences like researchers are studying the ongoing problem or the negotiations are still ongoing. Next is orient. This means to guide, direct, or familiarize yourself with something. The course helps orient new students, or maps help tourists orient themselves. Honestly, this is a brilliant word to throw into academic or professional settings. Next, proceed, meaning to continue forward or begin the next step. The meeting proceeded as planned, or please proceed to the next section. Then we have reverse, which means to change to the exact opposite or move backward. The court reversed the decision, or he reversed the car carefully. Lastly for this batch is successor. This is a noun for a person who replaces another. The manager introduced her successor, and his successor continued the project. All right, halfway there. Subsequent means happening later or following afterward. Subsequent studies supported the theory, or prices increased in subsequent years. Then we've got sustain, which means to maintain, continue, or support over time. The country cannot sustain rapid growth forever, and solar energy helps sustain the environment. Now here is its exact opposite in action, terminate. This means to end something or stop it officially. The company terminated the contract, or the program will terminate next month. Trace, which can be used as a verb or a noun, means to find or follow or refers to a small sign of something. Police traced the phone call, and scientists found traces of pollution. And domain means an area of knowledge or activity like a territory or field. Technology is an important domain of research, or education falls within the public domain.
And our final 5. Outcome means a result or consequence. The outcome of the experiment was unexpected, and education influences career outcomes. Overseas means in another country or abroad. Many students study overseas, or the company expanded into overseas markets. Globe refers to the world, or a round model of the Earth. Climate change affects the entire globe, and the teacher pointed to Africa on the globe. Reside just means to live somewhere or exist in something. She resides in Tokyo, or true strength resides in patience. Finally, impact means a strong effect or to influence something heavily. Social media has a major impact on communication, and pollution impacts public health. Awesome, you stuck with it.
Okay, time for Section 3, our memory story, titled The Changing World Mission. Let's see these words in action. A scientist decided to immigrate to another country because he wanted a new life. Later, many of his friends also began to migrate from rural areas to large cities searching for jobs. When he arrived, he noticed the world was beginning to evolve rapidly. Technology continued to alter everyday life, and some societies started to deviate from traditional values. Meanwhile, an ongoing environmental crisis affected the entire globe. To help new citizens, the government created programs to orient immigrants and help them understand local culture. The scientist decided to proceed with his research despite many difficulties. One day, a political leader tried to reverse environmental laws, but his successor changed the policy again in subsequent years. Researchers worked hard to sustain clean energy systems. They warned that countries must not terminate environmental agreements too early. Scientists managed to trace pollution back to one industrial domain near the coast. The final outcome of the study shocked the world. News spread quickly to overseas countries, and people across the globe began demanding change. The scientist now resides in a peaceful city, but he still remembers the enormous impact the crisis had on humanity. Now for Section 4, the Vocabulary Synonym Quiz. Let's really test your knowledge here. For this section, your goal is to choose the best synonym for the highlighted word. Question 1. The company decided to alter its strategy after the crisis. Is it A, maintain, B, modify, C, terminate, or D, sustain? Question 2. His opinion began to deviate from the group's position. A, differ, B, proceed, C, reside, or D, support. Question 3. Languages naturally evolve over centuries. A, disappear, B, develop, C, reverse, or D, transfer. Question 4. The negotiations are still ongoing. A, completed, B, temporary, C, continuing, or D, overseas. Question 5. The guide helped orient new students around the campus. A, confuse, B, direct, C, transport, or D, terminate. Moving on to question 6. Researchers decided to proceed with the experiment. A, continue, B, reverse, C, alter, or D, migrate. Question 7. The court decided to reverse the earlier decision. A, maintain, B, support, C, cancel, or D, trace. Question 8. The government struggled to sustain economic growth. A, weaken, B, maintain, C, alter, or D, terminate. Question 9. The company plans to terminate the agreement. A, continue, B, establish, C, end, or D, transfer. And question 10. Scientists managed to trace the source of pollution. A, locate, B, sustain, C, migrate, or D, evolve. All right, the final stretch. Question 11. Education falls within the public domain. A, result, B, territory, C, impact, or D, process. Question 12. The final outcome of the project surprised everyone. A, cause, B, process, C, result, or D, trend. Question 13. Many students choose to study overseas. A, permanently, B, abroad, C, locally, or D, publicly. And finally, question 14. The environmental crisis had a serious impact on society. A, influence, B, structure, C, sequence, or D, vision. Okay, pencils down. Let's hit section 5 and go over the quiz correct answers. Let's see how well you did. For question 1, the correct synonym for alter is B, modify. For question 2, deviate matches up with A, differ. In question 3, evolve means B, develop. For question 4, the best fit for ongoing is C, continuing. And for question 5, orient is perfectly matched by B, direct. Moving to question 6, proceed means A, continue. For question 7, reverse is closest to C, cancel. Question 8, sustain means B, maintain. For question 9, terminate simply means C, end. And for question 10, trace matches with A, locate. Doing great so far. And our final batch, question 11, domain means B, territory. Question 12, outcome is C, result. For question 13, overseas means B, abroad. And finally, question 14, impact means A, influence. How'd you score? As we saw in our story today, our world is constantly evolving and altering our daily lives. So, how will mastering these 20 words alter the domain of your own career or academic journey? Think about it. Please like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments and I'll use them for future explainers.